Day 4 of making my sweater for my husband. And on today's update, I'm going to kind of go through my process of how I figure out sizing to make my sweater. So this is my second sweater I have made. My first sweater I made was I call the no frills sweater. That is red in color that I have pinned to the top of my page if you want to go take a look at that. And it's a sweater I made for myself that I would say would be around a size medium. For this sweater, I'm going to be making it for my husband, so I need to make it more like an extra large size. And I'm using my 48 needle circular knitting machine, that's a Sentro, and I'm going to be making tubes. So how I figured out how long to make my tubes is the first thing that I did is I made a test project using the yarn that I'm going to make for my sweater. So this test project I bought extra yarn for, and I made a really long scarf, and this is about 66 inches in length. And it's not going to go to waste because after I am done making my husband's sweater, he's going to have a matching scarf that he can wear with it as well. So what I did is, first thing I did is I made my scarf, and this kind of showed me how wide my tubes were going to be, and then also like kind of how the stitches lay and how the fabric worked on the machine. The next thing I did is for myself is I have this mannequin that I use for sizing. Now this mannequin doesn't go as broad of shoulders that I need for my husband, so I just used him, had him stand there, and I had him put on a shirt that he likes how it fits him and the overall length where the shirt hits him on his torso. So I had him stand like so, and I took my test scarf that I made and I folded it in half, and then I laid it over his shoulder. And then what I did is I took a look at where does the scarf and the bottom of the shirt that he was wearing line up, and I lined that up and I marked it in the front and in the back with a stitch marker. So that's how I knew the overall length that I needed. So to figure out what rows I needed to do is, since I have my stitch marker, and each of these stitches, these little upside down V stitches, is called a knit stitch. Each one of these is a row. So I could just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up in the round to my other stitch marker. And I got to, it was about, I think, 267 rows. Now for my yarn that I'm using to make his sweater, it's three colors. It's this gray, this multi, gray and black, and then black. And so I knew I wanted it to look like so, where I have in the front black, multi, gray up and over the shoulder, and the back side multi, and then black. So going to 270 divided by 6 was 40 rows of each color. So I have 40 of black, 40 of multi, 40 and 40 of gray, making 80 to go up and over the shoulder, and then 40 of multi, 40 of black again. So that's how I got the length of what I needed to make the tubes. Next, we kind of need to figure out how many tubes do we need to make an extra large sweater. So I have my 2 tubes I have cranked out so far. When I made the sweater for myself, I did a total for the torso. It was a total of 4 tubes. I had 2 of the longest lengths for over the shoulder here, and then I had 2 that were half the length for the front and back, and that left an opening for my neck hole. Since he is wider than me and has broader shoulders, I'm thinking that we're going to need at least 4 tubes at these 270 rows, and then at least 2 of the half tubes front and back. Once I have all those 6 tubes cranked out, I'm going to pin them together with some stitch markers, put it on him to see how we're doing with the fit. I possibly could need to make 2 front half panels and 2 back panels to get the width I need, but that's just something we need to figure out once I get to that point. Plus we'll have the tubes for his arms. So if you want a more of a medium-sized sweater, you can check that out. It's called my No Frill Sweater. I have it pinned to the top of my TikTok channel if you want to take a look at that one. Also hit that like and follow button on updates on how I'm making this sweater for more of an extra large size for my husband. So I appreciate all the likes, all the follows, all the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following my journey of making my second sweater. Thank you so much, and happy crafting, everybody.